So Aaron, we're in the caves of Ferrari, Carano. Can you tell me a little bit about this? I mean, it seems like a fairly extensive and fairly new system of caves.
It is. We're approaching about 10 years old. It's the largest excavated cave complex in Sonoma County. It's well over an acre underground.
Wow.
And it holds approximately 6,600 barrels when full.
And how many barrels do you typically produce in a vintage?
Just under half of that. Luckily, we haven't maxed out capacity of this place yet, but about 3,000 per vintage.
So that's a lot of work. A lot of work moving the barrels around. You're lucky to have space. Are they all single stack, or there's a little bit of...
No, the larger barrels, these puncheons, are single stacked. We have the lovely sconces in here as well that we want to highlight. But in the majority of the cave, they're stacked 3 high. We have our 60-gallon barrels 3 high, which is nice for uniform temperature from the bottom to the top. And we do all of our work in terms of topping and stirring and all of those activities in place.
Okay. So you pointed out that you have these puncheons here. Really interesting to see a larger format of wood. Mm-hmm. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about the puncheons, what size they are, where the wood comes from, and why they're here?
Absolutely. These are French oak puncheons at 500 liters, about 132 gallons, and their sole purpose is to keep our Sangiovese component of sienna bright and fresh and intense. The smaller the barrel, the faster the wine ages. There's less surface area. There's less surface area ratio with the big barrel. The smaller the barrel, the more surface area there is for aging. So Cabernet, which needs to soften the tannins and age, does very well in small barrels. Sangiovese, the bigger the better.
And part of that aging process is the transfer of oxygen through the staves. So that's why you're talking about the surface area.
Yes, we're trying to slow that down with sienna, especially the Sangiovese component. We want that fairly delicate raspberry, cranberry, strawberry, those aromatics and flavors. We want to capture those and keep them. If we put them in a small barrel, we can lose quite a bit of that and gain a big wood impression. So we want a lighter wood impression and retain that bright fruit.
So the obvious question would be, I think a lot of viewers would say, well, why not just one big barrel?
There is, at some point you need the oxidation to stir the lees for the mouthfeel. So the traditional shape of a barrel, the function of a barrel is still very much in play. And you would obviously lose that going to one very large tank.
And these you can still manage to move around much bigger than this. And you got
they're a burden to move. They're not the easiest thing to move, but we can work them very similar to a standard barrel, correct?
Sure.